So today our topic is operational amplifiers. Now, first we come to the introduction of the operational amplifiers. What is an operational amplifier? The first operational amplifier was designed in 1948 using vacuum tubes. In those days, it was used in analog computers to perform variety of mathematical operations such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, etc. Due to its use in performing mathematical operations, it has been given a name operational amplifier. The early op-amps were bulky, power-consuming, and expensive. Now we see the symbol of an op-amp. All the operational amplifiers have at least the following 5 terminals. First is the positive supply terminal plus VCC or VS plus. Second, we have the negative power supply, that is the minus VCC or VS minus. Third, we have the output terminal, Vout. Fourth is the inverting input terminal marked as negative. And the last one, the fifth one, is the non-inverting input terminal marked as positive. If we provide an input to the inverting terminal of an op-amp, that is to the minus or negative terminal, that amplifier is known as inverting amplifier. And if we apply input at positive or non-inverting terminal of the op-amp is termed as non-inverting amplifier. Now, there are some basics of an op-amp. Op-amp is an important linear IC. It is a multi-terminal device which is internally quite complex. An op-amp is a directly coupled high-gain amplifier, usually consisting of one or more differential amplifier and usually followed by a level translator and an output stage. The output stage is generally a push-pull complementary symmetry pair. The op-amp is a versatile device that can be used to amplify DC as well as AC input signal and was originally designed for computing mathematical functions such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, integration, etc. Op-amp can be used for a variety of applications such as AC and DC signal amplification, active filters, oscillators, comparators, and regulators. Now, we see the block diagram of an operational amplifier or an op-amp. It has basically 4 blocks. First one is the input stage. It consists of 2 input, the non-inverting input and the inverting input. The input stage is the dual input balanced output differential amplifier. This stage generally provides most of the voltage gain and also establishes the input resistances, that is the high input resistance of the op-amp. The intermediate stage is another differential amplifier which is driven by output of the first stage because of direct coupling. The DC level at the output of the intermediate stage is well above the original level. Now the next is the level shifting stage. The level shifting stage is generally used to shift the DC level at the output of the intermediate stage downward back to the original level. Now finally, we have the output stage. The final stage is the output stage, which is usually a complementary amplifier. It provides low output resistance for op-amp. Now, integrated circuits. Now what is an integrated circuit? Fabrication of complicated circuit into small silicon chip is generally termed as integrated circuit. The IC number for operational amplifier is 741. That is, IC 741 is the integrated circuit for an operational amplifier. It is a 8-pin IC. The first pin is offset null. Second is the inverting input terminal. Third pin is the non-inverting input terminal. Fourth is the minus VCC terminal, where we provide the minus or negative power supply or input supply. Fifth is again offset null. Sixth is our output terminal or Vout, from where we get the output. Now seventh is again the input power terminal, that is plus VCC. Fourth was minus VCC. Seventh is the plus VCC. Here we give the input as a positive value. And eighth is no connection or not connected, that is NC. So this is the pin diagram of IC741. By knowing this pin configurations, we can easily fabricate a circuit using op-amp on a breadboard. Next we come to the concept of ideal op-amp. The ideal op-amp has the following characteristics. The first is infinite open loop voltage gain. An ideal op-amp has an infinite open loop voltage gain. Since gain is infinite, the voltage between the inverting and non-inverting terminals, that is differential input voltage, that is V1 minus V2, is essentially 0 for finite output. So we can say differential voltage is equal to 0. That means the gain is equal to infinite. Second, infinite input resistance. An ideal op-amp has an infinite input resistance. An ideal op-amp draws no current at both the input terminals because of the infinite input resistance. So almost any signal source can drive it and there is no loading on the preceding stage. Now the third characteristic is zero output resistance. Output resistance of an ideal op-amp is 0. So output can drive an infinite number of other devices. It also ensures that the output voltage of the op-amp remains same irrespective of the value of load resistance connected. Next is infinite bandwidth. The range of frequencies over which the amplifier performance is satisfactory is called its bandwidth. The bandwidth of an ideal op-amp is infinite. This means the operating frequency ranges from 0 to infinite. This ensures that gain of the op-amp will be constant over the frequency range from 0 frequency for DC to infinite frequency. So op-amp can amplify DC as well as AC signals. Next is infinite CMRR. CMRR is common mode rejection ratio. Now, when the same voltage is applied to both the inputs, the differential amplifier is said to be operated in common mode configuration. Many disturbance signals, noise signals, appear as a common input signal to both the input terminals of the differential amplifier. Such a common signal should be rejected by the differential amplifier. The ability of a differential amplifier to reject a common mode signal is expressed by a ratio called common mode rejection ratio. It is also defined as the ratio of differential voltage gain to the common mode voltage gain. Ideally, the common mode voltage gain is 0, hence the ideal value of CMRR is infinite. Now next is zero offset voltage. Presence of small output voltage, though V1 equal to V2 equal to 0, is called an offset voltage. It is 0 for an ideal op-amp. This ensures zero output for zero input signal voltage. Now next is infinite slew rate. This ensures that the changes in the output voltage occur simultaneously with the changes in the input voltage. If the output does not change within the same rate as input, then there occurs distortion in the output. Such a distortion is not desirable. Infinite slew rate indicates that output changes simultaneously with the change in input voltage. The parameter slew rate is actually defined as maximum rate of change of output voltage with time and expressed in volt per microsecond. Its ideal value is infinite for op-amp. The last characteristics of an ideal op-amp is no effect of temperature. That is, the characteristics of an op-amp do not change with temperature. So, today we have gained some basic knowledge of the op-amps. Now, in the next class, we will discuss about the virtual ground condition, about the characteristics of a practical op-amp, and various op-amp amplifiers such as inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier, summing amplifier, subtractors, differentiators, integrators. Apart from this, we will also get some idea about comparators and about the saturation property of the op-amp. Thank you. Thank you so much.